to think of your cast as an arrow, like this here. How sharp is your casting arrow? Is it cutting? Today we're going to compare the sharpness of casts. And you do that comparison for yourself. And I'm only giving you a couple of pointers in the so-and-so direction, okay? But before we do that, I would like to talk about a few comments I was getting. And a lot of people keep ranting about that I should start teaching and stop preaching, and that they don't get the information here that they are looking for. Hey, man, listen. The autotelic approach doesn't work like this. You have to take a rod in your hand and do it yourself. Most people are too used to just sitting in front of a screen and digesting or stuffing information in them and letting them pass without doing something themselves, that they expect. See, the thing that lets you make that comment is your own expectations. That you take a fly rod in your hand and that you try the exercises I recommend here. If you haven't tried the exercises like a fixed line anchor, like a rattle trigger, or whatever I recommend here, the double haul tool, for example, for indoors. If you haven't tried any of these tools, I would like to ask you not to comment here and waste my time. Okay? Good. Now, back to the comparison of the cast sharpness. Watch this caster practicing here. Pay attention to what's commonly called loop formation and his acceleration into a stop. The little wave spade technique by Miguel Leopolds. Now you watch this caster here doing the same exercise. What's the difference here in puncto acceleration into a stop and what you call loop formation? Whose casting do you think is sharper? The one of the master casting instructor from Fly Fishers International, or the PRFC style? Here, check it out again.
Those loops, or these waves, are travelling from the rod tip towards the fly.
If you want finest and sharpest cast control, PRFC is the way to go. And you are warmly invited to join the squad. What you want to do to be able to talk here with the big boys, the new ultimate predators in the sport, is to check out the fixed line anchor exercises and the rattle trigger and the other exercises. By the way, let me show you a comment that makes me far happier than any of this master casting instructor bullshit poserism. Thank you, great. I tried to fix the line and it works. I'm fly fishing for 45 years, but I have to admit that this technique helps a lot. After a while that I fix the line, my casting technique changes alone. That is beautiful. Ching, ching. Listen, I care for the people of fly fishing. Sit again and enjoy your practice, because I guarantee you, if you understand how to work this fixed line anchor thing and also that controlled vibration, your casting will go. And if you watch this again, you see here this
Those loops,
formation,
or these waves, are travelling from the rod tip towards the fly.
And on the other side here, you don't see loop formation, do you? You know what I mean? Now, the other thing this has to do with is finding the middle of the cast. Who of these two casters do you think has found the middle of the cast? Have you ever heard of the Buddhists preaching the middle way?
Or what the doctor ordered?
What do you focus on in your casting? Do you know that you do not have casting panic? Wurfangst.
Acceleration into a stop is a systematic teaching of trigger punching a fly rod.
Yeah, let that sink in for a little minute. Punching the trigger on a fly rod there.
What's the difference here in this caster? What is he doing different, eh? I mean, come on, lad. Punch it hard and punch it heavy. That's why the old teachings will take you 25 years and still produce old tailing fucking loops. The tailing loop, by the way, is the only loop that is a loop indeed. But we discussed that on another occasion. Paching! Oh yeah, wow. By the way, excellent footage here, excellent background, excellent job, and also not easy to cast off a ladder, of course, no doubt about it.
Now, what do you think is easier? Finding the middle of the cast or having a stop on either side of it? What is less to do? What is much more to worry about? And what seems to be sharper here in your opinion? The sharpness of the cast is what makes or breaks the angler. And if you think of your cast as an arrow, like this here, how sharp is your casting arrow? Is it cutting? Thanks for tuning in again. Please do not forget, we don't own the water owns us.